Well, the government has said that they want to look at testing, but they were saying that 2 weeks ago when the Spanish crisis happened, but we've seen nothing from the government since then, and time is ticking. Had we moved at the time of the Spanish crisis, then we could have avoided the French crisis last weekend and avoided the risk of passengers having to go into quarantine when they could have had an alternative of being tested here at the airport. Now, this is something that is being carried out in other countries. In Germany, in Iceland, they have either a test after 1 day, 3 days or 5 days. But in Britain, we're still imposing a 14-day quarantine on anyone coming from a high-risk country. We need to do better than this if we are going to rebuild our economy as an outward-looking trading nation.
But you are, I'm assuming, in regular contact with the Department of Transport. If this system is such a good idea, why haven't they given you the green light so far?
Well, this is a question for government as a whole. This is something for Number 10 to really get a grip on and give us the green light to go ahead with testing. Testing is a very good way of making sure that people don't have COVID. It's what we rely on with the NHS workers. And if it's good enough for the NHS, it should be good enough for visitors to this country to start to get people travelling again and to help to rebuild the economy. And this isn't just about people going on holiday. This is about the economy as a whole.
When you speak to those at the Department of Transport, what kind of reaction are you getting? What's the mood music to your idea?
Well, the Department of Transport, I think, is very keen that this should happen, but this is not their decision. This is a cross-government decision. And this is a question for Number 10 to get a grip of our border policy to make sure that business can start flowing again. It is our exports from the UK that travel on passenger planes from Heathrow. Actually, 40% of all the UK's exports go on passenger planes from Heathrow. But if those planes can't fly because people can't travel on them, then our exports are grounded. This is holding back the recovery of the UK economy and putting thousands and thousands of jobs at risk. And the government needs to act now to allow testing as an alternative to quarantine so we can get the economy kick-started.
Who within the aviation sector is backing your plan?
Everyone in the aviation sector is backing the plan, and as are lots of businesses as well. They want to see the economy getting started again. And aviation is the lifeblood of the UK economy, with so many, not just physical exports travelling on planes, but services too. People want to be able to reopen our borders, but do it in a safe way, and testing is a good alternative. It's being used in other European countries. It is becoming the norm. But the UK, having started well by introducing the risk-based measures of green, amber and red countries, has now fallen behind. And we need to move quickly to get people moving through the UK again to help to recover the UK economy.
The problem is, though, it's confidence, isn't it, of passengers? It's not just the quarantine that's stopping people from flying, it's the feeling of being safe on board or in an airport and not contracting the virus. I mean, this plan doesn't tackle that, does it?
Well, actually, we have a lot of confidence from passengers. You'll see behind me that where people can fly, they do fly. There's a lot of appetite to travel around the world, a lot of people wanting to visit friends and relatives, as well as to go on business. What is holding them back is the ability to go to the markets they want to get to. The relaxation of quarantine measures only apply to 30% of the countries that we fly to. And that means that 70% of our markets are still closed to us. And they're really important markets, such as the United States. And as we think of Britain's future outside of the European Union, we need to be trading with places like the US and Canada and Singapore, all of which are quarantined at the moment. That needs to change if we're going to rebuild the UK economy. And that means moving to testing, as other European competitors are doing, rather than imposing a 14-day quarantine, which stops people flying altogether.